Hey guys, how's it going? So it's a new year, new video, same old me. But in today's video, I kind of want to go over my little crappy sketching process when I start making these cool ass 3D scenes, just to kind of show you guys the little ideation that I go through before I actually commit to building something in 3D. And I feel like something like this is super important. I don't really do anything super polished. It's something that I do to just get my ideas down, just to like brain dump all my ideas on a piece of paper. And just thought I'd show you guys that process, and yeah, let's get started. And before you get started, make sure you hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell so that you don't miss out any of the videos that I put out. So we're gonna continue working on my existing project. So these were all the shots that I've had at the end of last year. And this is the first shot, and then an establishing shot, and then a close-up, and then an extreme close-up, I wanna say. But essentially what this was that, you kind of start off here, you make your way up to this part, you walk up this bridge, and then you get into this entrance up here. So now I want to make a couple of images that show what happens when you go in here, like what's in there, what are some of the things you see later on. And so there needs to be like really good, there needs to be a very smooth sequence, right? There needs to be a nice pacing for your story. So I was just looking around on the internet. I was thinking about the games that I've played in the past as well. And so I thought it'd be cool if I had something like this be the interior part, where you go into that gate and then you end up in this area. But before you end up on this area, there is a gate you have to get through, right? These are some screenshots from the Avengers game. I really like the treatment of these rock formations versus all the man-made stuff. And so I took a bunch of screenshots. So everything that you put in your scene, like these rocks, these paneling, these bars here, everything plays as a compositional element. So there needs to be a purpose, and it always has to be laid out in such a way where it leads your eye to the focal point. So I'm thinking that, okay, once you go through this gate, then you come across something like this. And then from here, you pass through this, you go into this little area. And then once you go through these doors, you probably exit out maybe like that. And once you exit out, then you see this big structure up here. And so this is just how I usually like to brainstorm my ideas, especially for more personal pieces. And obviously it's not a set in stone, things do change towards the end or as I'm working towards them. But at least now I have a roadmap that I can follow, right? I'm not just like brainlessly modeling everything out in 3D and then I end up making something that doesn't even look good, but because I spend so many hours making it, I'm gonna end up using it because I don't want to waste all my time, right? Or at least I don't want to be in a situation where I feel like I wasted all my time making this, so now I have to use it. I hope that makes sense. So, and then after that part, I usually start sketching out a little bit. And so I'm thinking that maybe the first scene could be like, okay, you enter this structure, you have like rocks and stuff up here, and like this is just a way for me to kind of just give myself a guide. Like I'm not getting like super detailed with my sketch, but just enough for me to be able to visualize where I'm going with this. Maybe the gate is somewhere down here. There's a dude standing up here, standing guard. Then we got more rocks up here. And so, so I had 3 guys in my scene, right? So I'm thinking maybe to make it look even more dramatic, I could probably have it where it's a low shot where you see the silhouette of the first guy, maybe his head or shoulder. And then we have another dude up here. And the third person is already up here talking to the guard up here. So you have like a nice rhythm like that. I don't know, this is just me like brain dumping right now, right? But I feel like this is so important that you do this, right? Because then you reach a point where you can like actually start fleshing everything out. And then maybe we have like, rocks up here, creating those overlaps. I really liked the treatment of rocks up here, like this part, like this thing and like this. So I might use that as well. I haven't really designed the gate yet, but I'm just using like simple rectangles or whatnot just to kind of see. Maybe that's the gate, it's locked. We got our people up here kind of just talking. you need like something that enables you to enter this place. So I was thinking that, okay, maybe these guys have a tattoo on their arm or something, and he just pulls out his sleeve and he's like, hey man, let me in. So that could be another shot actually. So like a close-up shot, and then the ground's here at the bottom. Maybe that's number 3. And then number 4, we finally leave. So now the gate is open and now we're leaving. Close up of the face of one of the dudes, kind of just dumping out right now. And then once you leave, you enter this place. And I was also thinking that like up here, since it's some sort of a cave and I don't really want to use technology, like there's no technology involved in this project, right? So all the light either needs to come from outside the sun, or the other thing I was thinking that probably putting like those torches, like those fire torches. I don't know what the technical name for that is. And these are just like gates that lead you outside the cave. And we're just walking towards it. And so right now I'm just making a lot of these. In the end, I'll probably only end up using a couple of these, but it's always good to have, you know, more. And then once you get out of those gates, I feel like this shot looks pretty cool. Like something like this looks pretty awesome. Like your character's probably just standing up here. And in a way, we also get a sense of, okay, oh, so now we see them leave the cave and this is like the outside entrance, the design of the outside entrance that looks like that. Maybe there are a couple of gates up here, right? Maybe our character is standing up here. There's exited out the gate. And this is like a very close up, I guess I should probably scale it down a little bit so that we can show the environment a little bit more. Something like that. And then 7, it's more like a POI shot where, you know, you're standing up here. Maybe there are some railings up here. And then you see like that little city, like this kind of thing. You kind of see this whole thing where you have this big structure. You got some houses that are carved in. You got some grass. In my design, I kind of made something like this. So we're kind of like looking at this part now. And like the idea of having this shot up here is to mainly show that there's a gate here, maybe some stairs where you can get down, just to kind of show a little bit of functionality. And so I feel like I'll very heavily go towards, when I start making in 3D, I might go towards like this part for the gate, and then like this part. Like I love this shot. Like maybe you exit here, we got some stairs here, we got some more stuff here. And I was actually looking at photobash.org. So if you guys don't know about that website, it's you can actually buy images from that website, but they start selling 3D kits now as well. I was looking at the 3D kit for the Casbah Fortress, and what I'm going for is very similar to how these buildings are designed. Like I want to make some of these buildings that kind of look like this. Yeah, something like this. So I want to create something like this. And those are going to be part of my smaller buildings that are going to be laid out down here. You know, more small. Kind of think this is like the main focal point where maybe, you know, the owner of this place lives. Maybe he's a king, a ruler of some sort. And then we can do another shot. You know, our characters are roaming around the streets, and we are kind of just showing off these buildings up here where the commoners live. And there was this one right here, and there was another one. Like this one is a pretty cool shot as well. So the reason why I'm showing you guys is because I just want to show you that you don't have to overcomplicate your ideas in the beginning stages, right? You can just sketch them out, put them on a piece of paper, try to figure out where you want to go, like what direction you want to take with this project or with your scenes. Because at the end of the day, when we're doing like a sequential shot like that, there needs to be a very smooth pacing, you know, like it should be easy to follow. Like now that I think about it, maybe we can probably skip one of these 2 shots. Instead of having a close-up of the door, I just remove that, have this the main one, because we have all the elements. We have the gate up here, we have the people walking up to the gate, and then we have the part where he shows his arm, his wrist with the tattoo, and then you leave the gate. So that's enough information as well, you know? So you just gotta put all these down and just see what's working, what's not working. Maybe now like those gates where we exited from, they're like, sorry, these are really rough sketches. I apologize in advance. So like the stuff that I'm thinking of putting on the side up here is probably gonna be structures like these. Now I could photobash this part as well, but sometimes it ends up getting way too technical. So I try not to. at least this early on. You know, maybe we have some people just hanging out up here, just conversing with each other, you know. Maybe we got some shade, you know, some cloth up there. Some dude just selling some vegetables up here, you know, just kind of showing like the culture, the environment, and just people conversing with each other. Maybe we have a little shop up here, like a coffee shop. So yeah, I mean, I think that should be good enough, if I'm being honest with you guys. Because the other shot that we can do is maybe a close-up of this part right here. But I'm also trying to figure out like what is the purpose? Like why would we want to show the close-up of this structure, right? Like what's so important about this structure? And as I mentioned earlier, it's more like, let's just say it's a castle or something, right? Where there's like a ruler living up there. And so if that's the case, then I need to show that maybe it's something that's very heavily guarded. And to do that, so we have this silhouette up here, whatever. We have a gate down here. And then probably have a row of guards just standing around the gate. Maybe we have a fortress kind of build up here. Got big walls up here. Got more guards up here. And then once you get through all that, then, you know, we have more little buildings. It's kind of scattered all over. So that's kind of like the plan that I have for this, I want to say. And so the next thing that I'm going to do is that I'm going to start breaking down my elements. Like I want to think about, okay, the Kitbash pieces that I already made, will I be able to use all of them, or do I need to make more of them? Now I feel like for this one, like for these 5, I feel like I can use the Kitbash sets that I already have. But maybe for number 6, 7, 8, and 9, I might have to create a couple more. Mainly because I feel like we're getting a little bit more into detailing at this point. As far as the cave part goes, I just want to show that it's, you know, it's a cave, right? So it doesn't have to be like super crazy or anything. But at this point here, we're getting more into the culture of this place, and we're getting more into what the city looks like, right? So architecture plays a big part in that kind of thing. So I'll have to like design this gate up here because it needs to look pretty cool. And then this whole thing here as well, I need to design that part. And then some of the houses up here. Yeah, actually, I'll probably have to design this, to model all of this out in 3D. I need to like redo some of these specifically in 3D. The ones that I made in the past for the establishing shots where I did these up here, those are mostly, you know, there weren't any people living up here. It was just cool formations that I wanted to make. So I got away with a lot of mistakes and a lot of recklessness, I guess. I had a lot of happy accidents as well, but now I need to be a little bit more conscious and mindful. I did make some buildings, some very simple buildings like these with just windows cut out, so we already have that. The grass itself, I can use an add-on for that, scatter it all over, make it in such a way where my buildings are kind of like carved in seamlessly with the rock formations with the mountains. So that'll be the next step from here. But yeah, this is kind of like the sketching I do, or the planning. Now this sketching is just for myself. You know, I'm not going to put this on my portfolio or anything because it's not at a level where I can present it professionally, right? And which is also, I feel like, and that's why I only spend a couple minutes on this, because I know most of the bulky work, I'm going to end up doing it in 3D. So this right here could be the buildings that I put on the side, and I'll probably scatter these on the main structure as well. And as far as these 5 shots go, these up here, I can just reuse my Kitbash asset. I feel like if I use some of these pieces right here, this one right here, if I just squashed it down and kind of just used a modifier on it to kind of curve it around, what do you call it, like a radial array or something, I feel like I can make something cool out of those. So we'll see, we'll see how it goes out. But at least now I know that, okay, I got to follow these steps. And maybe, now that I think about it, I can probably get rid of this one right here. We can just start with this one, go here. And maybe we can even get rid of this as well. Start up here, show the hand. Or you know what? Oh God, I can't make up my mind. So we can probably get rid of this one and then this one, And this shot up here and this shot up here, I can probably show this environment. Like the gate that I'm thinking of making up here could probably just be made out of this instead of having like a man-made structure. Cool. So yeah, so now we're just gonna jump in Blender and start doing some Blender magic. So stick around for more. And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna start copy pasting some of these that I feel like I can use for my first scene. So I also have my crappy sketch up here. So pretty much this shot up here where it's like I think I'm gonna make it like a metal gate. And then, you know, we got some rocks on the floor. We got those mountain structure. Maybe these people walking up there. Then I feel like for the ground plane, I think I'll just use a landscape. Let's see, mesh, landscape, cliff. Ooh, I could use this for the sides actually, like the Control A scale. Grab this, grab that. Control L, link materials. Let's see what that looks like. Oh, yeah, it's actually pretty good. This could be like a good design for a gate. And actually my dude, I'm gonna have one guy up here like very close to the camera, kind of like walking towards. And then the other homies are gonna be up front. So I'm gonna use this piece actually. Let's put it up here. And I'm gonna use a mirror modifier on this and see how it looks. Shift A, let's go to empty. And then plane axis. And I'm gonna go ahead and move this axis roughly around here. Click on this modifier. Let's go to mirror. Mirror on the walls. Who is the dumbest of them all? Omar Siddiqui. Take this, click on the empty object. We're gonna flip it on y-axis. Okay. And then if I move the empty, it kind of moves it as well. So, ooh, this looks cool. Or maybe something like this looks pretty cool too. And you know what? I think I'm gonna change to, let's change to Eevee. And I'm gonna start looking at it from the mist pass so that I can clearly tell what elements are closer to the camera and what are the elements that are like further down from the camera, because it'll help me figure out my depth. Let's go up here. Let's go to mist. Okay, so we have a pretty good read actually. Like we can clearly tell what's closer, what's far away. So that's nice. I think I'm gonna keep it this way. Also, because I feel like having silhouettes is gonna be easier, because then I'm not gonna get too caught up into the details and stuff. Okay, let's keep going. Let's keep going. Go ahead and take a screenshot of this. I need to get in the habit of taking like multiple screenshots so that I can show the process. Because if I'm not showing, because I feel like there's a trend, right? You know, people posting portfolio work on ArtStation, you see all these nice sketching and whatnot, and then you see all the cool finished pieces. So if I'm not doing any like crazy detailed sketching, I feel like the least that I can do is just take as many screenshots from my 3D viewport as much as I can to kind of show that, hey, I understand how, you know, perspective works, I understand how composition works, and I'm just taking multiple screenshots and like iterating on it. And then if I have the gate down here, maybe let me Shift A mesh. Let's use some cubes for now. I can probably use this for some of the foreground elements. I'm actually gonna switch to cycles. I feel like the read's okay for now. I do want to see what my textures look like. What I'm also gonna do is, I feel like these guys a little bit to the left. Probably have this piece kind of, I need like a nice zigzag motion. I should probably change my resolution for my camera too, actually, make it more cinematic. Let's see. Grab these two guys. Hold D. Okay. I like this shape. We could work with that. We could work with that. Maybe I can move this guy a little bit to the right. Oh wait, where's my empty? So this and my empty. Oopsie. Ooh, I need to push this down and these two down. So it's in the air. It's in the air right now. Can't be doing that shit up here. Interesting. So push it down. Okay. So now it gives me more opportunities to add more pieces up here. Probably just repeat this pattern. I could use an array for this as well, but I choose not to, because I feel like if I need to move these around a little bit, I have the ability to do that. With array, it's all like one, or at least I haven't figured out how to like move them individually. And I feel like I might just move this gate a little further. I feel like it's too close to the camera. We should probably move it back a little bit more, like something like this far back. I feel like once I add more overlaps with like some smaller rocks, it might just fix it. Okay. Should have like something like that, like zigzag. As far as like a first draft goes, this looks pretty good so far. Oh, you know what? I could actually put a volumetric on this. I almost have to go like super low with this. I like the glow that I'm getting with this. Maybe I can like do 2 different renders and see which one works best. Do one with the fog, one without the fog, and then kind of just like mask them and see which one looks better. Open up my other file and kind of like bring in some of the characters up here. I want to see if I can change his pose a little bit. Let's make a copy. I don't know. It's a long shot. Wireframe. Oh no, I'm so sorry, sir. I broke your arm, my guy. You know what? Let's see. From up front, it doesn't look too bad. Not gonna lie. If I have him posed like this way, like it's not too bad. So we can probably still use it. It's like a dirty bit to fix it. I don't feel like rigging. Actually, I never feel like rigging. So now, one thing I'm also trying to figure out, what if I have a top-down lighting coming down instead? I'll bring it up here. Ooh, I kind of like this. I should probably just get rid of this guy right here and this, and I'm gonna use these pieces instead and kind of just make that kind of thing. And that's how it is, right? You like reiterate, redesign until you find something. Or maybe, you know what? Maybe I can just reuse it instead. Have this towards the bottom and then have that big piece. So let me just copy it again. Shouldn't have deleted it. Part of me was like, don't delete it, you might need it. Ugh, my neck hurts. Every time I look at myself in the camera, I have to like fix my posture because I'm like, shit. Fix your posture, my dude. Ugh. Ugh. I'm gonna start a GoFundMe for a new chair. Because this chair sucks. Do I have the money to get one? Hell no. All right, I think I figured it out. So you have to change this to face. And I don't know if I need this. Let's see if that works. Okay. Oh, there you go. There you go. It's looking nice. I have a couple that are floating in the air, but not gonna worry about it. I can just like paint sand underneath it. When I take this light away, it doesn't look that interesting anymore. But just this, it doesn't look that interesting. I feel like having this kind of like spotlight shining looks a lot more cooler. And then I'll still have like those torch lights, like secondary lights on the corner that I'll just like silhouette these guys a little bit. Cool. So far I'm really liking how it's turning out. I think I should probably work on the designing of this gate part a little bit more, because what's happening right now is that there's so much cool stuff happening everywhere. But when you get to this gate part, it's a little underwhelming. It's like, oh, you make this journey and then it's like a tiny ass gate. So I'm thinking of having like a more bigger structure, something that looks similar to something of this shape, you know? Like this, when I was iterating on this entrance up here, I made this shape. And I feel like something like that, I feel like it'll fit the silhouette a little bit better. So I'm just gonna experiment with that part a little bit. I think I'm just gonna let's go back to solid mode. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm gonna take this piece and I'm just gonna isolate it and see if I can maybe make it look a little bit more interesting. Alt D. Maybe I can rotate it. Ooh, this looks cool. Maybe something like this. Let's see, let's keep building this. Let me do this kind of thing. Okay. And I'm also looking at it from my camera view. So this looks interesting. What if I took this and all right, so I feel like at this point I've kind of reached a point where this is like a pretty good base to start painting on top of it. Essentially what I did next was I downloaded this fire torch holder thingy from Sketchfab. And this is just an image plane of a fire. And let me show you the shader editor for this. So pretty much it's an image with a black background. And then the color is going into the emission, and then that's all turned up, and then I have the color going into the alpha as well, and it's going through a color ramp so that I can adjust how much visibility I want on that fire. But the fire intensity was not strong enough to light up this guy, so I had a point light as well to kind of have this nice light up here. So I had one up here, one up here. We had two up here as well. And then these two characters, I ended up downloading these from Mixamo. I might paint over these guys a little bit. That's pretty much it for the 3D part, I want to say. I will cover paint over in the next video. I feel like I want to do more paint over videos. But for now, I think this should be it. And this feels like a good stopping point. Hell yeah. All right, so that should be all for today. Thank you so much for coming by and watching this video. And I feel like at this point, like this is not a finished image by any means, but I feel like it's a good stopping point for me to put this image online, get some feedback, maybe tweak it a little bit more, and then eventually do a paint over on top of it. I wanted to do paint over as well, but I felt like the video would have been too long, and so I will be doing the paint over process in next week's video. Also, I feel like I'm gonna do a bunch of 3D paint over videos just because there are different methods I use depending on what kind of painting I'm painting. So I'm gonna do that next week. So definitely be on the lookout for that. But yeah, so stay tuned, and I'll see you guys next week.